BA Audio has launched their first synthesizer, and today I will tell you everything about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's find out. So this is the BA-1, an emulation? No, an evolution of the CS1, a vintage analog monosynth that was designed for beginners, but is widely used by today's electronic musicians because of the sound quality and the simple controls. And this is the version of BA Audio with some enhancements. So, we have two oscillators with a crossfade right here, which is already an evolution because the original had just one oscillator, but they went even beyond by adding one FM oscillator. The two oscillators share four wave shapes: triangle, sawtooth wave, square, and pulse. Oscillator 1 also has pulse width modulation with its own speed control. And oscillator 2 also has white noise. Both oscillators have octave controls. And oscillator 2 also has a fine-tuned fader that can also give you one octave above or one octave below. Finally, you can change the pitch with a fine tune for both oscillators. And you also get glissando. You get a nice filter with a crispy resonance that can also safe oscillate. You can turn on the key follow. And as you can hear, when it self-oscillates, you cannot hear the other oscillators. Finally, you have an envelope that is shared by the amplitude and the filter. I'm more used to have an envelope for the amplitude and another for the filter, but once you get used to it, you can get pretty amazing sound. On the top left, you can change colors, and on the top right, you have CC controls and MIDI mapping. Then you can turn on or off the velocity. You can make it monophonic or polyphonic. And with this arrow, you go back to the default patch. Now, not only they added more oscillators, as the oscillator 2 and the FM, but they also added more modulation options and a bunch of really nice effects. For example, we have a simple LFO that can be routed to the filter or the oscillator 1. You cannot sync it to your DaveO, but the lowest speed and the fastest speed are not too different, so it's easier to set up. Then you got sidechain, pre or post effects. This one is synced to your DaveO, but you cannot divide the tempo. And finally, you have some effects. For example, you can change the tone by using the dark or bright faders. You got a really nice distortion with this drive that can be changed for circuit to odd. Then you got a delay that you can sync to your DaveO. And then you got a pretty nice reverb. And lastly, you got a pretty nice chorus that's inspired by the classic Juno chorus. Now, that's not everything that this has to offer. They added two features based on the original machine, and both follow the lo-fi spirit. First of all, you can use this speaker right here. And as you could suspect, a speaker built-in a synthesizer is never going to sound good. But of course, it's going to sound bad in a good and cheesy way. And the other great feature for these kind of sounds is the battery. Many technological gadgets from the time, when they were running out of battery, they didn't perform as good. So you can manually make this run out of battery and you will hear how that affects the sound. You could hear that right here in the middle we start adding a little bit of drift to the voices, and if you go lower we start getting that fuzzy noise. Not only that, if you go to 0 you cannot make any sound. Finally, you got this knob for the output. You can bypass the plugin when clicking the BabyAudio logo, and this icon is to load presets, and usually I associate this to save, but save is for this other icon, so you can save any of the patches that you make. Now, I left one feature to the end because it's really interesting. They have this regen button right here. They state that it's programmed to always give you usable sounds, or at least almost always. So let's test it. I tested it for about 20 or 25 presets, and they all sounded pretty useful to me. Some of them needed a little bit of tweaking, but that's also part of the idea. Regen not only will give you a usable sound, but also a starting point. So when you're feeling uninspired, you can start with a solid bass. Finally, you will have a lot of factory presets and also artist presets from Michael Oakley, Sammy Rabia, Pegboard Nerds, and Venus Theory. And if you're a patron, you can get all of these presets by me. So, in my opinion, BabyAudio is once again showing us that they can make a really good plugin. I find it pretty fun that they added the speaker and the battery, and even just to have fun, I like when a plugin has a random button. As with other BabyAudio plugins, you can get it for a relatively low price, and if you want to buy these or other BabyAudio plugins, consider using my affiliate link down below. As full disclosure, BabyAudio sent me this synthesizer in advance, but they encouraged me to be completely honest, so they haven't watched this video in advance. And in my description you can check other ways to support my content. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and give it a like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.